Okay, now here's the setup for the SMTP. Now this is using the data on a card that you would normally have in an iPad or something like that. So what it's actually doing is sending it via, like I said, the data part of your plan. So if you go into the End menu and we go down to Send Via and you choose SMTP, we go to Send To, and now SMTP you can only choose email. So let's do that. We'll choose the email, and the rest of it is just like the other setup. So you go into the network setup and you can choose your recipient email. You choose there and then type in your email using the virtual keyboard here. Once that is in, you choose Save, and then you can use your left arrow to go out. Choose your cellular provider. Obviously we're in Australia and you want to use Telstra, and then you can go back out. Make sure it's on 3G, as most 2G services are being switched off, as you probably may already know. And then you will need to use this download tool. So go in there and say yes. What this is actually doing is putting a little program on your SD card that you need to actually put into your computer. And when uploaded to your computer, then you can actually put in the data settings using your Gmail account. How this works is it will access, the camera will access an email to send to another email. So you can actually have it access its own email and send it to itself. I hope this is making sense to you. Go to the photo quality, make sure it's on normal, and remote control, just make sure that's disabled. Okay, now we'll go across to the download tool and we'll go through the settings there. Okay, now with the SD card plugged into the computer, what we can access is that download tool that was uploaded to the SD card. The way to find that is over here under Computer. So if you're in your Windows Explorer, you can go to Computer and it will just come up as Removable Disk. In there you'll see a little zip file which says RT Setup, and what we'll do is go in here and we say Extract All. So I'm right clicking with my mouse, Extract All, and I'm going to just browse, and I'm going to put this on our desktop so it's nice and easy to find, and then I hit Extract. So it's automatically opened the desktop, but what I will do is just I will just close this off. Here's the RT setup here, and I will just double click on it. Yes, I'd like to make some changes. Okay, so here is the setup. As you can see, there are settings that we've already entered in the camera. You will need to do these again because when you insert your SD card, it will overwrite to these ones. So we're using it on email. We want to send via the SMTP function and say yes to that. We go into the sending mail, and in here the settings are as follows. What you need to do, this is the email that you'll be sending from. The camera will access to send, to package an email, and it will send it to another email or itself. So what you can do is, I've set one up via Gmail, which we do recommend, and I've called it Jack Dark Camera. And it's Gmail. Now with this email, it is also, I'm just going to copy that, it's also the account, so you enter the email in here as well, and then you put your password in. And then in here, because the camera does need to access your email, you do need the password in there. And then this SMTP server for Gmail is smtp.gmail.com. And then the port, the access port, or the outgoing port, is 465, and that is the encrypted port, so you do need to use the SSL here, and so make sure all of that is ticked. Go OK, and they're all your outgoing settings. So over here we choose again Australia, and we choose Telstra. In here is the recipient phone. Because we are not using MMS, we can't use that. We're going to use the email, and we're going to send it to info@outdoorcameras.com.au. With those in there, they're all the settings you need to go. So what you need to do is this program will now save a file back onto the SD card, so we need to select the SD card. So we just hit these dots over here and we go to Save Path, and our SD card is D drive, so we're going to go in there. We can tell it's D drive because it has DCIM is where all the camera saves its photos. Now just leave it on D drive and you press OK, and then we hit save. Now that file is saved to the SD card, so we now exit out of this and insert the SD card into the camera. Okay, so what you will see is when you insert the SD card, switch it to setup in the middle, the camera will start up. You'll see it accept the settings. So reboot. Now that the camera is restarted, all those settings are in the camera. From here, once it's found the network, so you can see that it's found network. We've got 4 bars there and it's on 3G. From here we can go into the menu. You can go back across to the network and network setup. You can go into recipient email 1, and you see that the email that we entered in on the computer is now in email 1. So we can go back and we can do a test email. So you can press OK to take a photo, press your down arrow to view that photo, and then press OK, and it will try sending the email. And what you'll see is it will then contact the networks. It will start sending it through as a data message to the email that was put into the send to section. If it's successful, it will say send over. If it was unsuccessful, it will say send fail. And as you can see there, it says send over, and that email will be receiving the photo. If you have any further questions, feel free to give us a call. You can chat with us online, which is helpful too. But this is the basic setup for the SMTP function on the Summit 4.